Happy Wednesday, everyone. Welcome to Core Stability. I'm going to play our tunes. If they're too loud, too quiet, let me know. And we are going to get started on the ground on our backs. So we are going to get started with our hundreds. So feet flat on the floor, knees to the ceiling, head and back can start rested, hands by your sides, palms face down, fingertips reaching in the same direction as your toes. Go ahead, curl up chin to chest. So shoulder blades hover off the ground, arms hovering at hip height. And pump your arms up and down. Keep your arms straight as you lift your hands an inch above the hips, an inch below the hips. And keep pumping, pumping, pumping as you take deep breaths. So think about inhaling for 4 pumps, exhaling for 4 pumps. Keeping those shoulder blades lifted the entire time is going to keep activation through the upper abs. If you'd like to add a challenge further through the low abs, you can lift those feet off the ground to shins parallel to the ceiling, knees bent, or you can extend your legs out straight to the diagonal away from the torso, sharply pulling the belly button down towards the ground to glue the back to the ground if you take either of those options. And in 3, 2, 1, go ahead and rest your head, rest your feet flat down on the floor if you haven't already. We're going to take it to crunches, sit-ups, or roll-ups. You get to choose. So for crunches, feet flat on the floor, knees to the ceiling, hands behind head, elbows wide. You crunch through the upper abs to lift the shoulder blades to hover, and then you release back down. For a sit-up, feet stay flat, hands to the ceiling. You're gonna roll all the way up, shoulders come directly over hips, arms reach forward at the top, roll all the way back down, or you'll take it to a roll-up. Arms start up to the ceiling once again, but legs are out straight long on the ground. Roll all the way up, shoulders over hips, arms forward at the top. You can pick whichever one you wanna do. As we continue warming up through the ab wall. As we go through today, take your options, choose what's going to work for you. And in 3, 2, 1, bring those feet flat to the floor, knees to the ceiling, rest your head. I want you to take your hands, push your palms down into the ground outside your hips, and I want you to bend your right knee and then extend that right leg straight to the ceiling. Right toes pointed for our single leg circle. So we're going to go across the body first. So we're going to go counterclockwise, left, down, right, and up through center, drawing a circle with that right leg. You choose the size of the circle, how big or small it is, and you choose how high or low it is. So the bigger the circle and the lower the circle, the less stability you'll have. The smaller the circle and the higher the circle, the more stability you'll have. Play with it. Switch directions, going clockwise this time, going right, down, left, and up through center. We're working on hip mobility. We're working on stabilizing through the low abs. We're engaging and stretching through the muscles in the leg. And in 3, 2, 1, bend that knee in, set the right foot flat. We're going to switch sides. Left knee comes to chest and then extend the left leg nice and straight to the ceiling. Point your toes. Try to get your leg as straight as you can. We go across the body first, so that actually means we're going to start clockwise on this side. We're going right, down, left, and up through center. Again, you choose your range. You choose your height. Working through the hip socket, pushing the low back down into the ground, trying to get it to stay glued there, trying to keep the rest of the body still as the leg moves through the circular motion. Getting mobility through the hip joint. Reverse your directions, going counterclockwise this time, left, down, right, and up through center. Pushing down through your palms for extra stability. And in 3, 2, 1, go ahead, bend your left knee, bring both feet flat to the floor. We're going to take it to single leg stretch. Go ahead and curl up chin to chest so your shoulder blades hover, and hug your right knee to your chest. Left foot can stay planted flat on the floor, or you can hover it long on the ground. Then switch. Hug your left knee to your chest, right leg either hovers or foot plants, and switch and switch. Keeping the shoulder blades hovering the entire time is going to work through the upper abs. Hugging, alternating your legs to your chest. That's obliques because we're not mirroring. We're asymmetrical. Our side abs have to stabilize us. And then low abs working when the legs move away from the torso. In 3, 2, 1, hug both knees to your chest. Feel free to rest your head for a brief moment. Give those upper abs a little bit of a break. And we're gonna go to double leg stretch. So when you're ready, curl up, chin to chest, shoulder blades hover, hugging yourself into a nice tight ball. Then I want you to extend your legs away from the torso as you circle your arms out to the side and up over your head, past your shoulders, and then hug everything back in. Trying to keep those shoulder blades hovering the entire time. Keep the low back glued to the ground the entire time. As arms and legs extend away from the torso and then hug back into a tight ball. Lots going on for the core, really spicy here. Make your range what's gonna work for you. 3, 2, 1, hug everything in, rest your head down to the ground, rest your feet down to the ground. We're gonna take it to single straight leg stretch. So now it's a similar movement, now the leg is gonna be straight instead of bent to our chest. So go ahead and start with right knee to your chest and then extend the right leg long, straight to the ceiling. Try to get as straight as you can, point your toe. Curl up, chin to chest so your shoulder blades hover, upper abs activated. Take your hands and reach them as high as you can towards the right ankle or foot. And feel that nice stretch through the back of the right leg. That's the bonus that we get with this exercise. Left foot can stay planted, or you can extend it long to hover over the ground. Then you switch. Left leg up, reaching as high as you can towards the left ankle, right leg down, and switch, and switch. Keeping the shoulder blades hovering the entire time, upper abs activated. Alternating those leg movements keeps us asymmetrical. That means we use our obliques, our side abs to stabilize through the core. And low abs every time the leg lowers away from the torso, with that nice bonus stretch every time we lift the leg towards the ceiling, towards us. In 3, 2, 1, hug your knees into your chest, rest your head back down to the ground, feet flat to the floor. We are gonna take it to our double straight leg stretch. Our upper abs get to rest for this one. They've done a lot for us already. So go ahead and start with your feet flat to the floor, knees to the ceiling, head rested, palms pushed down into the ground outside the hips. Send both legs up to the ceiling. Squeeze your legs together, nice one long leg. Trying to get the legs as straight as you can. Point your toes. Glue your low back down to the ground by pulling your belly button in towards your spine. Lower your legs for 3 counts away from the body, and then I want you to lift them back up to the ceiling, keeping the legs squeezed together the entire time. You lower for 3, lift for 1. Now you are finding your range here. If your low back starts to peel off the ground, limit your range for about 1 inch until you find that sweet spot where you can lower those legs and feel the low back supported with the low abs. Also feel that extra squeeze between your thighs as you squeeze the legs together. Low abs doing a lot to stabilize us here and keep the upper body still with the legs in motion. And in 3, 2, 1, go ahead, bend your knees, send your feet flat to the floor. We're gonna take it to our bicycle or crisscross crunches to finish out this piece of our workout. So for our bicycle crisscross crunches, you start with your feet flat to the floor, knees to the ceiling, hands behind head, elbows nice and wide. Curl up, chin to chest, so shoulder blades hover off the ground. You're gonna crunch towards your left knee as you pull your left knee towards your chest. Reset through center, crunch towards your right knee as your right knee comes to your chest. Reset through center. You have the option to kick your leg out after it comes in towards the chest. So right knee into chest, left leg long to hover, switch. Left knee to chest, right leg long to hover. Or you can tap the foot back down, keep the bend in the knee. All up to you. You have choices. We're getting oblique activation with that minor twist towards the knee, coming to our chest. Try to keep the shoulder blades as high as you can. If they start to dig down into the ground, make the movement smaller. And 3, 2, 1, rest. Nice job, everybody. I'm gonna get a drink of water, shake it out, and we'll come up to standing for our balance set. All right. So I have officially made my way up to standing. We're gonna start with calf raises just to get us in tune with our bodies, with our balance, now that we're in a different space. So stand up nice and tall, feet hip width apart, toes forward. You can have your hands on your hips. You can have your hands by your sides in a prayer, holding onto something for balance, whatever is gonna work for you. As you lift your heels and then lower them back down to the ground. Heels lift, heels lower. Whether this is ankle mobility, this is calf engagement, this is balance, If you'd like to challenge yourself here, think about the rate at which you're moving. The longer you make the movement with the heels lifted, the more your body is going to have to fight to stabilize. The longer you have without those heels on the ground, the more you're going to have to work for it. So play around with that a little bit. You got it. Relax your shoulders if they're tensed. And when you're ready, come back to flat feet. I want you to take a soft bend through your left leg. That's gonna stabilize you. So just enough so that your left leg isn't locked out straight. And then I want you to take your right toes, tap them out to the right to touch the ground, and then bring the right foot right back underneath the right hip. So right toes tap right, right toes come right underneath the right hip. You have options here of what this looks like for you. So that's your first option. Second option is you maybe don't tap your foot on the ground, so you lose that point of contact to reset, either when you tap out or when you tap underneath your hip. So you can leave the leg hovering if you'd like. Taking it at your pace, you choose how wide you tap, you choose how fast you go. Keeping your core engaged, belly button pulled in. Now I want you to hold the leg out as wide as wide is for you. Right toes out to the right. And we're gonna do leg abductions or lateral leg lifts. So keeping the leg wide, right leg lifts and lowers. So when I say right leg lifts, for me, that's only an inch. Right leg lifts, taps right back down out to the right. So the leg is staying to the right the entire time, lifting and lowering an inch or so, and resetting. So you're stabilizing, balancing through the left leg. Again, you can hold on to something for balance if that's gonna work for you. Play around with it. Maybe you start with your whole hand, maybe you move down to 4 fingers, 3 fingers, 2 fingers, 1 finger. Maybe have your hand hover over it. Kind of find where your challenge and balance, challenge point is and balance that out. All right, from here we have the option to take it to a lateral high knee. So what that means is a high knee, that your knee is wider than your hip. So from that right toes tapped out towards the right, you can take your high knee, right knee pulls up towards the right shoulder or right elbow, taps back down on the ground. This is a big, complex move. It's gonna take a lot to stabilize. Feel free to hold on to something to help support you through this. Right knee up and wide, toes tap back down to the right. Belly button is pulled in. We're working side glutes if you don't feel it already. And in 3, 2, 1, send both feet down. I want you to take a wide stance, so feet wider than shoulder width apart. You choose how wide is wide, and we're gonna take a forward fold. Reach down towards the ground in between your feet and feel a stretch through both the backs of the legs, and because our feet are wider outside of the hip, feel a stretch through the outside of that glute that we just worked a bit. Let your head hang heavy, let your shoulders relax down. And when you're ready, go ahead and rise up to a standing position. We're gonna start with our calf raises again. So feet hip width apart, toes forward. Hands can be wherever's gonna help you balance. Heels lift and lower. Recalibrating before we switch sides. Remember, your pace is your choice here. We're working ankle mobility, we're working calf strength. We're also working our balance. How you control the balance challenge is the speed you go. The slower you go, the more difficult it's going to be to maintain your stabilization. And in 3, 2, 1, both feet flat. Take a soft bend through your right knee. That's going to be your supporting leg, just so it's not locked out. Left toes tap left and then come right back underneath the hip. Remember, you have options here. So you can tap the foot down left and then come back underneath the hip. You can remove the taps altogether and hover the leg out to the left and then underneath the hip. You choose how far wide your toe reaches. Play around with it. Find what's going to challenge you while also experiencing some success to grow in that challenging space. Working outer glutes quite a bit here, stabilizing through that right leg. Let's take it to those lateral leg abductions or lateral leg lifts. So hold the toes out to the left leg lifts and lowers. This is for me about an inch. It's only an inch because I'm restricting the movement by pulling my core in to help stabilize me. These muscles are finicky. We'll hit them again later today. It'll feel so spicy, so good. You got it. Option to take this to a lateral high knee. So left toes start out to the left. Knee lifts outside the frame of the body and then taps back down to the left. Again, feel free to hold on to something for support. Lift and lower. This is bringing the obliques into the picture. Well, they've been in the picture, but in a little spicier way. Feeling a little bit of a crunch through the left side obliques as the knee lifts. It's okay to wobble. And when you're ready, go ahead and put both feet flat down on the ground, wide-legged forward fold. Feet wider than your shoulders. Reach down to the ground, space between your feet. Let your head hang heavy, let your shoulders drop. Feel a stretch through both the backs of the legs and the outside of the hips. Maybe inner thighs as well. And that concludes our balance set. When you're ready, you can slowly roll on up to standing. I'm gonna get a drink and we will meet on the ground on our backs. All right, on our backs, we start with corkscrew. Corkscrew is building off of our single leg circles that we did earlier today. So go ahead and lay on your back, head rested. Feet can start flat to the floor, knees bent towards the ceiling, palms push down into the ground outside your hips. Send both your legs straight to the ceiling and then glue your legs together to make one long leg, squeezing the inner thighs, point your toes. We're gonna draw circles. This time we're gonna alternate every other. So draw a circle with your feet or your legs, and once you round out at the top, switch directions. Now, as we're doing this with our legs, the goal here is strengthening through the low abs. So I want you to pull your belly button into your spine and glue your low back to the ground. Gluing your low back to the ground is gonna protect the low back, put the work into the low abs, out of the low back. So that's the first priority. After you've got that down, think about squeezing the inner thighs together. Think about straightening the legs as long as you can. And then we think about the circle size and the height of the circle. Again, the bigger the circle and the lower the circle, the less stability you're gonna have. The smaller the circle and the higher the circle, the more stability you're gonna have. Play around with it. Find your sweet spot. Try to get those legs as straight as you can. In 3, 2, 1. Go ahead, bend your knees to your chest. Send your feet flat down to the ground. Beautifully done. We're gonna give ourselves a change of pace here with dead bugs. So go ahead and lift your feet off the ground. I want your knees bent to a perfect L shape or 90-degree angle. So knees over the hips, shins parallel to the ceiling, hands to the ceiling. So hands are straight up above the shoulders. Push your low back down into the ground. Opposite arm, opposite leg are gonna extend away from the torso. So left leg is gonna hover long off the ground while right arm reaches back to hover off the ground, and then everything comes back to your restarting position. Right leg, left arm, reset. Glue your low back to the ground. You can do it. Think about pushing, gluing the low back to the ground. That's the goal here. Everything else is bonus. If you want to take one arm, one leg instead of opposite arm, opposite leg, you can. You've got this. You choose your speed, your range. The slower you go, the harder this is going to become. The longer you are without your stabilization. And 3, 2, One, nice job. Go ahead and rest your hands. They can either go outside your hips, but I recommend putting them out more to a T shape, palms face down, to give yourself some more space in the lower body. So keep your tabletop legs. And then I want you to, upside down tabletop, I should say. So shins are still parallel to the ceiling, knees stacked over hips. And then I want you to keep your torso relatively still as you let your knees fall to the right. So your left hip can peel off the ground, and then let your knees fall to the left. Right hip can peel off the ground. Shoulders stay planted. As we twist here, we're activating through the obliques, the side abs. The obliques are the ones that pull us back up and bring our knees back through center. Really keep those shoulder blades glued down to the ground. As knees fall right, come through center, fall left, almost rainbowing them up and over. They only have to go as far as you choose, so my knees do not touch the ground on the other side. I do not have that amount of flexibility through my spine. So if you don't either, that's okay. Find your sweet spot and work from there. And when you're ready, you can come back through center, plant your feet flat to the floor. We're gonna take it to our bridges. So feet to the floor, knees to the ceiling. Take your hands and they can go now outside the hips, palms face down, fingertips reaching the same direction as the toes. And I want you to squeeze the glutes, your bottom, to lift your hips towards the ceiling. Feel a nice stretch through the hip flexors and a squeeze through the glutes. And then lower them back down to the ground. So tailbone is the first thing to lift and the last thing to touch the ground. The hips lift as well as the low and mid back. The upper back does stay grounded, shoulders stay grounded, head stays grounded. Hips lift and lower. Now, if you'd like to take any fancy combos here, you are more than welcome to. And by that, I mean you can change your pace by adding an extra hold at the top for an extra couple seconds before you lower. You can make the lower slower. You can make the lift slower. You can flex your feet for extra spice through the hamstrings. Lots of different options I'm just offering here today. Feel free to do whatever's going to work for you. I'm sticking with the standard lift and lower here. Really squeeze through the glutes. We're burning out through the glutes and hamstrings here. And with a lot of the ab work we've done already, this might also generate some relief through the front of the hip flexors where the hips and thighs meet. And when you're ready, next time your glutes come to the ground, tailbone comes to the ground, you can keep it there. Head is going to stay rested. Hands can stay pushing down into the ground outside the hips. Take your right knee and bring it towards your chest, and then extend your right leg straight to the ceiling. And then I want you to lower your right leg to hover off the ground. Reset it flat on the ground. Switch sides. Left knee comes to your chest. Left leg goes straight to the ceiling. Left leg lowers to hover off the ground. Reset. So knee to chest, leg to ceiling, hover, switch. So as you lift your leg to the ceiling, you will notice a nice stretch through the back of the leg. As you lower the leg, you're feeling contraction through the top of the thigh and through the low abs, the obliques to help stabilize. You got it. You're taking that your pace, knee to chest, leg to ceiling, lower to hover, and switching. And next one, set both feet flat to the floor. We are going to take it to a double time here with both legs. So squeeze your legs together. You can start those feet flat on the floor. Bring both knees to your chest. Send both legs to the ceiling. Lower them down towards the diagonal. Reset. Knees to chest, feet to ceiling. lower to the diagonal. You choose how low is low. If your low back starts to peel off the ground, you've gone too far. So you might not be able to lower as low as you did when it was single leg because we don't have that extra support of our resting foot. So find what range is going to work for you. Knees to chest, feet to ceiling, lower to a diagonal, reset. Extra squeeze through the inner thighs with both legs at the same time. We lost a point of contact on the ground, so it's harder to stabilize. And we're dealing with the fatigue because we've already done this on each leg individually, so now they're doing it together when they are a little tired. And 3, 2, 1. Go ahead, set your feet flat on the floor. Nice job. All right, we're gonna go ahead and take it to a crunch. So upper abs are going to enter the picture again. So you can either start with your feet flat on the floor, knees to the ceiling. If you want to take it to an upside down tabletop legs, so shins to the ceiling, knees bent, you can, just to add low abs into that. But hands behind head, elbows wide. You're going to crunch and release. So either feet flat or shins parallel to the ceiling. And crunch, upper abs, release, upper abs, and release. Trying to keep those hands behind head, elbows wide. That's going to help increase the amount of weight that's distributed away from the body. So it increases the work through the upper abs. But what it also does is just help support the neck slightly. So we're not pushing or pulling on the neck, but the fingertips can take a little bit of the weight of the head out of our abs. In 3, 2, 1, go ahead and rest that on down. We're gonna go ahead and send our legs up to the ceiling and do a low ab engagement. So heads rested, hands can go by your sides, palms pushed down into the ground. Legs do not have to be glued together here. They're just both sent to the ceiling. Trying to get them as straight as you can. Toes can point towards the ceiling. And we're gonna do a low ab tuck or crunch. So you're gonna think about pulling your belly button down towards your spine while lifting your tailbone towards the ceiling. It's a sharp, tiny movement, and then you reset, repeat. So sharp pull down of the sharp pull down of the belly button, not the telly button. Sharp pull down of the belly button with a lift of the tailbone. That's where the T was coming from. To get the low abs. So low abs is right beneath the belly button, and that's where you'll feel this contraction. The lift is only 1 centimeter to 1 inch. It's a tight, tiny contraction. It almost appears as if you're not doing any movement at all, and that's okay. Some movements are sharp, isolated, and they don't need to be big to make a difference. In 3, 2, 1. Go ahead, bend your knees, bring your feet flat to the floor. We're gonna roll on over to the front side of the body. So we're gonna get in tabletop position with bird dog. So this is gonna be some more balance, and we're also bringing our back side of the body into the picture, getting it ready for some more back strengthening that we'll get into after this. So hands underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips. Your back is flat. Your head is in line with your spine. And we take it to bird dog. We can start with one limb at a time. So right arm is going to reach forward in front of the right shoulder. Then you'll set it down. Left arm reaches forward in front of the left shoulder. Set it down. Left leg reaches long behind the left hip. Set that knee right back down underneath the hip. Right leg extends like long behind the right hip. Send the knee right back underneath the hip. So alternating limbs, right, left arm, and legs. Taking it at your pace. Keeping your back flat the entire time by pulling your belly button into your spine. Keeping your head in line with your spine because the neck is an elongation or an extension of the spine. If you would like to now, we're gonna take it to opposites. So right arm forward, left leg back. Reset. Left arm forward, right leg back. Reset. Now, as you go through this, if you want to take it back to one limb at a time, that's always your home base. That's always an option. If we're starting to feel heavy on the knees, you can also do this standing. Think high knee, reach. Do the same exact thing if you were standing. And in 3, 2, 1, rest. Nice job. We're gonna add some spice to this. Don't hate me. We're gonna come to a high plank. If a high plank isn't gonna work for you, come to a wall plank. So get into your plank position, and then we're gonna take it to a floating tabletop. So from your plank position, I want you to bend your knees, push your hips back so that they come directly over the knees bent to a 90-degree angle, shins hovering off the ground, and then send your weight forward, right back into your straight arm plank. If you're doing this against a wall, it'll look like your hands are on the wall, your feet are stepped back in a nice long line. You bend your knees, sink into like a squat position against the wall, and then you stand tall. So plank to your floating tabletop or bear hold, or wall plank to wall squat. Keep your back flat, firing up through the thighs here, firing up through the core, the back. In 3, 2, 1, set those knees down. Nice job. We're gonna lay on the front side of our body, and we're gonna kick it into high gear, isolating through the back side of the body. So go ahead and lay down on your belly button down, arms by your sides. So hands can reach by the hips, legs extended long behind you. And we're gonna start with our back extensions. So push the hips down into the ground as you pull the belly button energetically up. So the belly will stay on the ground, but the belly button is just adding that engagement to the spine. It's gonna help protect our low back. Go ahead and lift your upper and lower body off the ground to hover an inch or so. So the belly and the hips stay on the ground, the chest, shoulders, and head lift, and the legs lift an inch or so. And then you can lower back down, take a deep breath, and then we'll repeat. Lift, upper and lower body off the ground, and lower. Keep the head in line with the spine as you lift, and continue through this cycle, feeling the squeeze through the backs of the legs, the hamstrings, the calves, maybe a strong point of the toes to make the body nice and long as you lift and lower. And when you're ready, rest everything down, and we're going to change up our position a little bit. Reach your arms long in front of you. With your arms long in front of you, legs long behind you, we'll go ahead and lift upper and lower body off the ground. We're going to make it into swimming. So lift your left arm an inch or so higher and lift your right leg an inch or so higher. And then you switch. Opposite arm, opposite leg, lift an inch higher, switch, 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 switch. Your pace. This is called swimming. Keeping lifted through the upper and lower body, engaging and strengthening through the back side of the body. Super important to counteract all the strength we're getting through the front side of the abs. And 3, 2, 1, rest that down. We'll get a nice stretch through the back by coming into a quick child's pose rest position. So come through your tabletop position, hands underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips. Then take your knees a little bit wider. That allows for space for the belly to come down towards the ground. Big toes together behind you. Sink your hips back towards your heels. And then walk your hands forward, bringing your chest and forehead towards the ground. And pull the tailbone back as you reach the fingertips forward, just allowing for a stretch through back side of the body, through the inner and outer thighs and hips. And when you're ready, you can come on out of that, lay back on the front side of your body. For this next one, we're going to go into heel beats. So you can fold your forearms or your hands, stack them on each other, whatever's going to feel good to you, and just somewhere to rest your head so your head can stay in a neutral position. Nose points down. And then legs are going to come long behind you, And turn your toes outward, heels inward. It doesn't have to be perfect. And squeeze to lift the lower body off the ground, upper body stays rested. Heel beats, heels squeeze in towards each other an inch or so and then release. Squeeze in, release. Now when I say squeeze in, the heels do not have to touch each other. They just have to go towards each other an inch or so and then release. This is getting the inner corner of the glutes, as well as firing up through the backside of the hamstrings, the legs. Squeeze and release. Heel beats. In 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and rest that on down. Nice job, everybody. We're gonna go into our sidekick glute series. Next, I'm gonna get a drink of water. All right, I've got my drink of water. We're gonna lay on our left side down, right side up. And we're gonna switch it up. We're gonna do a clamshell series instead of a sidekick series. So left hip is down, right hip is up, stacked on top of each other. Take your left elbow and bring it underneath your left shoulder. Forearm flat to the ground, palm down, fingertips forward. If it feels better to use your arm as a pillow, you are more than welcome to. Take your right hand and push it down into the ground in front of the chest. And then I want you to bring your knees in towards your chest. So bend your legs, knees come at least in front of the hips. The closer your knees come towards your chest, the more this exercise will burn. Use that information how you will. So your right leg is stacked on top of the left, knees are bent. Keep your feet or the inner edges of your feet connected. And I want you to lift your right knee towards the ceiling and then lower it back down to stack on top of the left. Right knee lifts and lowers. So these are clamshells. So think of your legs making that motion of like the clam. What are those? I guess they're called clams, aren't they? Lifting and lowering that right knee. The right knee does not have to lift a lot. It can be a couple inches. It's gonna depend on your hip mobility, honestly, how high it can lift. But this is activating through the outer glute, right side. Now, when you're lifting that right knee, I want you to be cautious or conscious of the right hip staying stacked over the left hip. When you lift the right knee, that right hip is gonna wanna roll backwards to allow for a bigger range of motion. If you don't let that hip roll backwards, you're gonna keep isolated. It's a great thing, isolated through the right glute and keep the core engaged. So don't let that right hip try to help you by drawing back. Keep it stacked over the left. All right, now we're gonna spice it up. Keep your knees together. I want you to lift the lower leg, so the right foot lifts towards the ceiling and then comes back and rests on top of the left foot. Then right knee lifts and lowers. So foot lifts, lowers, knee lifts, lowers. It's funky. We're getting an internal hip rotation that way. You got it. So knee lifts, lowers, toe lifts, lowers. So feet together, knees apart, knees together, feet apart. Just spicing it up a little bit. Now, this is when everyone is gonna start to hate me. Lift your right leg to hover over the left leg, keeping it bent and mirroring that left leg that's on the ground. And then I want you to extend your right leg forward to kick it forward, so it can be flexed. And then bring it right back over to hover over the left leg, so nice and bent. So right leg kicks forward, right leg comes bent again. Keeping that leg hovering while you kick it forward and then bend it back. This is spicy, okay? So if you need to rest the leg for a moment and come back into it, you can. You got it. Now we're gonna increase our range of motion. So next time you kick your leg forward, hold it forward, keep it straight. Now keeping your right leg straight, I want you to slide it backward so that your right leg is in a straight line now with your torso. And then I want you to kick it forward like it was, and then bring it back in line with the hip. So leg stays straight, it's a kick forward, and then in line with the body. The left leg stays bent on the ground the entire time, right leg stays hovering, forward and back at hip height. Sometimes it's nice to spice things up. And in 3, 2, 1, rest it down. Nice job. If you need to get a drink, you can. We're gonna switch sides. So lay right hip down, left hip up on your side. Take your right elbow and put it underneath your right shoulder. Forearm extends forward, palms down on the ground, fingertips forward, or use your arm as a pillow. Either is fine by me. Left hand palm pushes down in front of the ground, in front of the torso. And then I want you to bend your knees. Bring your knees at least in front of the hips, if not closer to the chest. The closer to the chest they go, the more spice you will feel. From here, keep your feet together, and I want you to lift the left knee towards the ceiling and then lower it back down. So when I say towards the ceiling, I just mean generally up. It can be an inch, it could be 5 inches. It does not have to go straight up. You don't have to fully open the hips. I want you to think about that engagement, that spice that we're feeling through the outer left glutes. Think about that left hip placement. Keep it stacked over the right. It's gonna wanna fade back to allow your hip to open further, allow the knee to lift higher. We're not looking for that. We're looking for the movement to be sharp, to be crisp, and to keep the left hip stacked over the right to help isolate through the left glutes further. You've got this. Spicy, spicy, spicy. Breathe through it. If it was easy, everyone would be doing it. All right, and we're gonna switch it up in 3, 2, 1. So now knees stay together, the bottom of the right leg lifts, so feet apart, feet together, knees apart. So left knee lifts, lowers, left foot lifts, lowers, knee lifts, lowers, foot lifts, lowers. So with that knee lifting, we're getting that external rotation, those side glutes. With the foot lifting, we're getting internal rotation, inner corner of the glutes. You got this. Internal rotation of the hip. We love a little spike. You got it. You know what's coming next. And in 3, 2, 1, legs stacked once again. And I want you to lift the left leg to hover, so it's still bent, mirroring the right leg. Then I want you to keep the left leg hovered and extend the left leg straight forward, kicking forward, but flex. Then I want you to bend the leg, bring the heel back towards the glute. It's mirroring the right leg once again. And then you straighten it to kick it forward. Bend your heel towards your glutes. Trying to keep the knee in the same spot in space. Keeping the left knee hovering over the right as you extend and bend your leg. Kick forward, bend it back. Feeling spice through the center glutes here. Keeping it hovering at the same height the entire time. And in 3, 2, 1. Next time you hold the leg straight out, keep the leg straight, and then I want you to slide the leg back so it's in line with the spine. Kick the leg forward, slide it back, keeping it at hip height the entire time. She's spicy. You got it. We love to spice up our glute work. Forward and back. And in 3, 2, 1, rest. Nice job. Get a drink if you want. Shake it out. We're just going to take it to our ab series next. For our ab series, we're going to start head rested, back flat on the ground. And I want you to do either crunches, sit-ups, or roll-ups. You choose. Upper abs are the target here. So go ahead, choose your choice. If you're crunching, hands behind head, elbows wide, feet flat on the floor, knees to the ceiling. Shoulder blades lift, lower, lift, lower. If you're sitting up, shoulders come all the way up over the hips. So nose points forward. If you're doing roll-ups, legs extended nice and long as you do your sit-up. And in 3, 2, 1, rest your head. We're going to take it to our penguins. Arms by your sides, outside your hips. Lift those shoulder blades to hover. Right hand reaches towards the right foot. Come center. Left hand towards left foot. Come center. So feet are flat, knees to the ceiling. Shoulder blades hover the entire time. Obliques are the target here, side abs. Right hand reaches towards the right ankle, getting a crunch through the right side of the body. The left hand reaches towards the left ankle. It can touch or not. It's up to you. It's up to your range of motion, your anatomy, how your body is built. In 3, 2, 1, rest your head. Send both legs straight to the ceiling. I want you to lower your right leg to hover towards the floor, then lift it. Lower your left leg to hover towards the ground, then lift it. Right leg lowers, lifts, left leg lowers, lifts. Low abs are the target here. Low back glued to the ground, belly button pulled down into the ground towards the spine. The back must be glued to the ground for the low abs to be doing the work. And in 3, 2, 1, back to our crunches, upper abs. Crunches, sit-ups, or roll-ups, your choice. Upper abs are the focus here. Hands behind head, elbows wide if you're crunching. Hands start towards the ceiling and then end up reaching forward, right in front of the shoulders if you're sitting up. Legs can either be bent or extended long to rest on the ground. Upper abs, fatigued. In 3, 2, 1, penguins. Feet flat to the floor, knees to the ceiling. Shoulder blades hover. Right arm reaches towards the right foot. Reset. Left arm reaches towards left foot, reset. So you're waddling like a penguin, side to side. Keeping the shoulder blades hovering, so upper abs are working as we get a nice engagement through the oblique side abs with every reach. And in 3, 2, 1, rest the head, legs to the ceiling, right leg lowers, lifts, left leg lowers, lifts. Alternating. Last time through, and then we stretch. Low abs, low back glued to the ground so that the low abs are working and not the low back. Breathe through. And in 3, 2, 1, bend your knees in towards your chest. Shake it out. Beautiful job, everybody. We have made it to our cool down. I'm going to get a drink of water. As we cool down, please feel free to follow along with me or do what your body tells you you need most. I just got my drink, and we will start in tabletop cat-cow for spine mobility ab stretch. So hands underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips. Start with a nice flat back, head in line with your spine, and a big old inhale. On your exhale, we take it to cat. Push through your palms, tuck your chin to your chest, send your spine to the sky. And when you need to inhale, you'll dip your belly low, take it to cow, roll the shoulders down and back, open through the collarbone, nose points forward. Go through this with your breath cycle. As you exhale, you're in cat with your spine up. And as you inhale, your belly is low, ready to fill with air with cow. Maybe you add wiggles where wiggles feel good, or shift your weight forward and back. You've got it. And when you're ready, come on back to a neutral spine or flat back. You're going to curl your toes under to send your hips to the sky. So balls of your feet and your palms are on the ground. Hips are up. Arms and legs are straight. Push your heels towards the ground to stretch through the backs of your legs and pull your chest towards your knees to stretch through your spine. Take a nice couple deep breaths here in this pike position. And when you're ready, you can softly bring those knees back down to the ground, roll onto your back. Once you are on your back, go ahead and hug your right knee to your chest. Left leg can either go long on the ground to stretch through the front of the hip flexor, or left foot can stay flat on the floor to support through the low back. Both are great options. Choose which one works for you today. With the right knee to the chest, we're starting to stretch through the right glute, lower back. And on your next exhale, I invite you to open that right knee slightly wider than the frame of the body, maybe just outside the rib cage, to open up through the inner thigh, outer hip. Breathing. Every exhale brings extra space to release. And we twist. Left hand outside of right knee, guide the right knee up and over towards the left side of the body, right arm long to a T shape, nose points right. Stretching through the right side glutes. Spine twist, shoulder and chest opener here. And when you're ready, come back through center, hug both knees to your chest, give yourself a little rock side to side, and we switch sides. So left knee stays into your chest, right leg can either go long on the ground or foot can go flat. As we start to stretch through the back of the left glute and low back. If it feels good to you, on your next exhale, open your left knee outside the frame of the body just slightly, just enough so that you feel a stretch through the inner thigh, outer hip. Doesn't have to be major. All we're looking for is that stretch on the inside of the thigh to kick us off here. And when you're ready, right hand outside of the left knee guides the left knee up and over towards the right side of the body. Left arm long to a T, out to the left of the left shoulder, nose points left. Glute stretch, spine twist, shoulder and chest opener. And come through center, give yourself a nice big hug, rock side to side if you want, knees to chest, and roll on up to a seated position. We're gonna go into our seated forward fold. So extend your legs nice and long in front of you, arms start by your sides. Nice big inhale as you reach your arms out to the side, up overhead. Exhale, hinge forward, reach for your toes, maybe land among your knees, your shins, your ankles, wherever you're at. Honor that, and with every exhale, create more space for a deeper stretch. Feel the stretch from the heels to the tailbone all the way through the crown of the head. Let your shoulder blades relax down and separate from each other to allow that stretch to come up through the mid to upper back. And go ahead and unwind from that. Come into your butterfly. The bottoms of your feet will come together to touch in front of you. Knees bend out to each side. Hinge forward at the waist. Opening up through the inner thighs, hips. The closer your heels come towards you, the more of a stretch you'll feel. The further away they go from you, the more space you'll create. The wider your knees fall, the more intense this will get for you. Kind of find your perfect spot, playing around with it a little bit. And when you're ready, you can come to your child's pose rest position. So unwind from that. Hands underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips, tabletop position. Take your knees a little bit wider, make space for that belly to come down. Bring your big toes together behind you. Sink your tailbone back towards your heels. Walk your hands forward. Bring your chest and forehead towards the ground. Reaching energetically with the fingertips forward as much as you pull the tailbone down and back to elongate through the spine. Feeling an intense stretch opening through the hips, inner thighs, release through the back of the triceps. back of the ribs, breathing. With every exhale, just releasing a little bit more. Taking a few final breaths here. That will take us to the end of our core stability workout. Thank you so much for joining.